We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And they'll run it here. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Louis.
And they'll go on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They couldn't hook up with Decker that time, and it's 3rd and 4.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Gone. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And an alley to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Flex round! Flex round!
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4. Leaves them with options here on 2nd and just a yard.
Only 4 yards on that gain, but, you know, a lot of people would say that's like getting 9 in normal circumstances since this was 1st and 5.
Yeah, now your playbook's wide open here, 2nd and very short.
Yeah, I still don't think that you can count it in the stats that way at contract time.
No, it still goes down as 4, not 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that when he had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him?
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Back to throw, Goff. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
There we go. Go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Hey, lift! 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 Go, 12, go!
Now they try the right side here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Tiger, Tiger! 12, 12! Turbo, touches!
Goff now looking to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Goff on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
The Rams on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14.
Hey, 5. Hey, lift! 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 Lift!
After the run, Goff going to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So out now come the Cardinals. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the ball comes loose, and the Rams have got it back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll run it here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Starting left here.
And they'll go on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing on third. Goff. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like of the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the Rams getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
DC. Starting left here.
Here's Goff now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. On first down, gone. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it in the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A huge play that time for the Rams. 51 yards.
Start left here.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage they need.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going for the deep ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Gone. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Detroit! Detroit! We got three, fellas. We got three. Watch him now, Barney. Barney! 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check, 56. Leopard! Leopard!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Leopard! Leopard!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Tackle made there by Budda Baker. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
Starting left here.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Goff now looks to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Hassan Reddick in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. He's back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. Took their shot at going for the win, didn't get it. Now bring on the field goal unit, tie this thing.
It's the right call. I truly believe that. But if I'm on defense, I'm also staying a little loose here in case they want to be really aggressive and fake it.
And his kick is indeed good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. And now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maverick, Maverick. 12, 12. 2 up.
Goff now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Now gone. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's gone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And on fourth down, Ottage, the punt team sending this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. There defensively was John Johnson to knock it free. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, now I thought you go on the field, but okay, I see. He's got him in, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a first throw here in overtime. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And a nice gain at 21 yards. This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
And they'll run it here. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone, this thing's over.
And I remember my coaches always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Hey, check 24!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. He's going to get it running right. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where it got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Cards, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for LA, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.